Thanks for joining me today. This is Danny, and I have got a real mess to clean up here. My bus line is a mess. As you can see, I've got huge clusters of people standing at every bus stop, and they are not getting picked up because our bus capacity is only 30. This bus line only has 3 buses on it, and as you can see, it's not keeping up. Unfortunately, this game does not give you the ability to directly control the amount of buses on your bus line. So it's kind of tricky to get the buses to work efficiently. The only thing that you can do to affect the number of buses on your bus line is to increase the overall budget of your buses. And as you can see, I've got mine cranked up all the way to 150. And if we look at this bus line, that's not a bus line. This bus line, you can see we have 3 vehicles, and we're at the maximum spending. And this is actually a pretty short bus route. So the way the game determines how many buses is on how long the route is. So this route is a little bit longer. It has 4 buses on it. It's doing a little bit better job of keeping up because it's going through a lighter density area. Same thing over here. We've got an even longer bus line, 7 vehicles, but it's in a light density area, which most of the city is light density, except for this little cluster here, and it's causing all kinds of problems with the bus system. So what I've done I've tried a few different things. One is I've tried making really long bus lines, and of course you end up getting a lot more buses, but they also have a longer distance to travel. So anytime I had a bus line running through this circle, which is the highest density area, it's high density commercial, we always have people standing at bus stops like this. Now, I haven't really noticed that it's caused any problems in the game. I mean, people aren't complaining about it. It doesn't seem to be affecting happiness. It doesn't seem to be affecting employability. That people are spending days and days and days standing at the bus stop. It doesn't really seem to matter much to them. But I personally find it kind of annoying, and I'd like to fix the problem. So the one thing that I found that you can do to fix this problem, short of writing a mod, which I actually also looked into doing, but found that I just don't have the time to do it. And what I was thinking, actually, there's 2 mods I'd like to see. One would be one that increases the capacity of the bus. You know, maybe change the graphic into a double-decker or something, and have it carry 60 passengers instead of 30. But even that, I don't think would fix the problem. Of course, what I really would like to see is, we have a subway station here that's feeding this bus stop. What I'd really like to see is the ability to control the number of buses on your bus line. You can kind of do that in sort of a roundabout way, and that way is by just creating multiple bus lines going over the same route. So I'll just demonstrate that real quickly. It's kind of self-explanatory, but the idea, of course, is that you're going to spread the people among several different bus lines, and each bus line will have, in this case, each bus line will have 3 buses. So now we're going to have 6 buses going through this route if we create another route over it. And then what I would usually do is replace every other replace every other bus route. Replace every other bus stop with a stop on the new route. So I'm going to start by making people unhappy and get rid of every other bus stop. So get rid of that one by right-clicking on it. I guess we'll keep that one. We'll get rid of this one. We'll keep that one. We'll get rid of this one. And we actually ended up shortening our bus route, so I'm a little afraid. Let me double check to make sure that we didn't lose. Okay, we still have 3 vehicles on this route. So I'm going to make a new route that covers the exact same ground. We'll start it Actually, I kind of want to... Let's start it over here where that first stop was, because our bus station is over here, and that's where the new buses are going to come from. So we'll create a new line. And there's the first stop. We'll create another stop. I think it was right there. And we'll create another stop right here. And that's it. Just have 3 stops in that line. Actually, each line now has 3 stops. So we now have 2 bus lines, and if we look at the data... Oh, we only have... Oh, okay. We now have 3 vehicles on that line. They must have been still on their way from the... and I'm going to change the color, so that, because there's a blue line here, we can change the color to... We'll do yellow. It'll make it easier for us to tell one route from another. And now we'll see what happens. We'll have to wait a little while because these people that are already waiting for the red bus are going to continue waiting for it. They're not going to decide to go to the yellow bus stop, unfortunately. We start getting into heavier density and larger cities, which this one will be at some point. This is going to get more and more difficult, but I mean, we're really going to get to a point where where each bus route is just going to have 2 stops, you know, where it's just going to have one stop on each end, and then we'll have another one that goes to the next place. And one thing you want to avoid that I've found is having multiple bus routes that stop at the same stop, because then what happens is the buses just queue up behind each other, and while one bus is sitting here, the others are waiting. So it kind of defeats the purpose of having multiple bus lines, because they all end up waiting for each other anyway. So that's why I spaced the routes out. I've got the mauve one here, and then I have the yellow one there. I keep doing that. Yellow one there, and then I have the purplish one here. Don't have quite enough capacity here, so we might even want to add yet another line. Now, it does take a little while because those buses, well, like I said, 2 things. The mauve people that are waiting for the mauve bus are going to stay there until they get picked up. They're not going to decide to switch to the yellow line. And the other issue too is that when I created the yellow line, people started waiting at the bus stops before the buses got there, because the buses had to come from the bus station, which is way over there, on that blue building right there. But just for the heck of it, let's build another line. It is actually working, except this stop here. But this one, which used to be full of people, this is the one right by the metro. And this one was always just completely packed with people. And this one seems to be doing okay. So it seems like we're doing okay in our merchant circle. But this one over here is still pretty full. But it is getting emptier. But I'm going to add one more loop. Okay, so here we are. I ended up adding 2 more lines. I noticed that this bus stop here was filling up. And I noticed that a lot of people were running across the street from over there. So I created another line that goes down in that direction. I added a couple more stops, so we actually expanded our space. And then I also added another line here because we still had a lot of people at the purple bus stop. And I think it's finally handling the bus traffic now, or the bus demand. That's actually a completely different line over there. So in the end, here I have, 1, 2, 4 lines covering some of the same space that one line was covering before. And that seems to kind of be doing the trick. And then I also expanded it out into this direction. So there we have it. There's our solution to the eternal wait at the bus stop. This one, I don't know, man. This one is still kind of filling up pretty fast, but it's not nearly as bad as it was before. The other thing that I noticed is that having a bus stop right by a stop sign like this, which is, normally where you would expect to find them, doesn't always work real well either, because then the buses get stuck in the traffic, and they have to pull out of the traffic, and then they have to pull back into the traffic that's backed up by the stoplight. And if there's a lot of other buses on the line, it ends up waiting for the other buses. So I've been putting a lot of the bus stops right after an intersection, like this one and this one. Well, of course, that one's in between too, but... And that kind of seems to work better, like this one. So then the buses don't get stuck. So we've still got some pretty full bus stops here. Actually, and that's the new line there, actually. That's the green line. The one that's going way off in that direction. So I'll probably have to put a couple bus lines off in that direction too. Whoa! But the purple line is doing pretty well now. And there's just a few people standing here. And this is the one that's right by the station, by the metro station. So we're doing pretty well. And kind of the way I've been using the bus lines is kind of as ways to get to and from the metro stations. Because I found that if I have long bus lines that go from here to here, I have that problem, the same problem with people getting stuck at the bus lines. So I basically have the public transport in this city set up so that the long distances are covered by the metro lines, and then the buses all basically circle around the metro lines. So it's a way for people to get to the metro lines, and then they take the metro lines to the long distances, and that seems to be the way people are using them. Got a couple dead bodies. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, or if you have any other suggestions, please feel free to comment. I'm actually going to look into possibly doing a mod. I don't know if I'll be able to find the time for it, but maybe someone else will beat me to it. That would be cool too. But if you have any comments or questions, please feel free. And of course, if you like the video, please leave a like, or just click the like button. It's really easy to do for this or any other videos that you see, mine or other people's. You're kind of placing a vote so that you see more of the kind of stuff that you like on YouTube. So, and of course it tells me too that this is the kind of stuff that people want to see. So thanks for watching. Have fun playing the game.